Hey everyone, good morning. Oh my goodness, this week has been such a crazy week for real estate. Been so busy with showing appointments, listings. I've got some good listings coming up. I'm super excited for it. Right before I went live, I was thinking about it and I'm like, we are not only 2 months into doing these videos, which is crazy that I've been doing these lives now for almost 2 months, but we are halfway through the year. So after this week, we are already halfway through 2020, which of course has been such a crazy year. And I mean, it's been a good year in a sense of like just okay, but it's definitely been a challenging year as well. But so crazy that we're already halfway through. And I feel like I say that kind of stuff all the time that, oh my gosh, where does the week go? Where do the years go? So it's just a good reminder to slow down and just, take it day by day. I know we've got a lot of stuff going on these days. And so just a good reminder to enjoy the days in all of the chaos, right? So happy Thursday, guys. How are you guys doing? I know I've been doing these lives, like I said, for a couple months, and I see people always jumping on. So introduce yourself. Let me know who you are, where you're coming from. I always want to know where you guys are watching from as well. For those that don't know me, I'm Mariana Pearson. I own Modernist Real Estate Group, this page that you are following. Again, we are a real estate group out of DFW, Texas. Love what we do. I am excited. Right now, we are working on a Home Seller Bootcamp. So if you've been following along over the last couple months, last month we did a first-time homebuyer bootcamp, and this month was all about sellers. So just talking to anybody who's looking to sell their home either in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, things that you guys can be doing right now to hopefully just give you guys all the knowledge that you guys need when it comes to selling or listing your home. So just want to recap with you guys what we've talked about so far before we get started in today's topic. So week one, again, all these were lives that I've recorded and I posted, so you can always go back at any time. Just want to remind you guys and watch those videos. You can still comment on them. We watch and we monitor all the comments and stuff like that on this page, or feel free to send us a direct message as well, because we will get back to you with any personal or specific questions that you may have. But in week one, we talked about a game plan. So we really dove into what that timeline looks like for prepping your home for the market, what you should be doing during the 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out, to really get you ready and prepared when it comes to list your home. So week one was all about that. Week two, we talked about staging must-dos. So some of the tips that I gave y'all on staging and how you could really, lay out the furniture and things that you could do with your decor to really help stage the home. And then week three, last week, we talked about pre-packing and cleaning. So I decided to get rid of the word declutter, and instead of declutter, I'm gonna start saying pre-packing, because one of the biggest things that we could do is start pre-packing and taking down, any personalized things. My biggest tip was anything smaller than a baseball, going ahead and packing those items up. Since you are in the process of getting ready to move, you're gonna have to pack eventually or anyways. So it doesn't hurt to go ahead and start pre-packing and just opening up that space, allowing buyers when they walk through the home to visualize their stuff in that space. So that was all week three. And again, guys, you can always go back and watch those videos as well. So today we are talking about, I'm gonna share with you guys my 3-step process to what you need to do before you have any showings or anything like that to really make your home shine. So when you have a buyer that's coming into your home for a showing, these are 3 things that I talk about to my sellers that they can do. Of course, there's much more than this that you could do, like the dishes and make the beds, things like that. But I'm not going to talk about those types of things. I'm going to talk about some things that just kind of add a little bit of extra, shine or whatever. It adds a little more so they have that experience when they're walking through your home that's just a little bit better than of the other homes that they're taking a look at in the same day. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So again, as prospective buyers are walking through your home, if you occupy the home, this is really important for you guys. You just want to spend a few minutes right before you have a showing to do these 3 things. And so typically, and we go over this in the listing presentation, you will have at least an hour notice, at least with me, to get anything done or anything like that, to vacate the property and all that kind of stuff before the showing. So you do have some time, but if you obviously work from home or anything, or don't work from home and you leave from the your home that morning, these are some things that you can do to kind of prep that morning, but some of these may not be as relevant unless you can do them right before the showing. So hopefully that makes sense. So the very first thing that I always tell my sellers to do before any showing happens is to hit the lights. So turn on all the lights that you have. I'm talking all the ceiling fans, any lamps that you have, even the microwave lamp or the oven lamp, those little lights. Turn on all the lights that you have throughout the house. It really just helps with bringing in more light into the home. Even if it's nice and sunny and it's great weather and you've got, the window blinds are open, everything else, turning on all those lights, not only right now with everything going on, eliminates them having to turn them on, but so they're not touching as many things, but it really just opens up the space, it brightens it up, it really helps them see what the home looks like in its fullest potential. So turning on all the lights is super important. Opening the blinds and curtains. So even though, like I said, open those up too. So if you have curtains or anything like that, open them up, open the blinds, and I don't mean like take them all the way to the top, but just kind of open them to where they bring in some light as much as possible. Natural light is honestly like the best light that you can have when it comes to a home. I see buyers all the time talking about how much they love natural light. Every now and then you get a buyer that's like, no, I don't like light. Like I like it kind of darker in my home, which is fine. But opening them up and just, again, bringing in as much light as possible. So turning on the lights, opening the blinds. And then, like I said, even if it's light outside, we want to be able to brighten your home as much as possible and create a really pretty ambiance. So when those buyers walk in, they see the brightness. It's almost like an emotional thing too, to where if they walk into this bright space, they feel refreshed, they feel brightened, they feel excited when they see the home with all the lights. So hitting the lights is my tip number 1. Step number 2, or tip number 2, is setting the thermostat. So I think this is so important. I'm in Texas, so our weather is crazy. It's hot during the summertime, like super, like ridiculously hot during the summertime. The winter time is not too terrible with the cold, but we do have our cold days, our freezing days. So for us, our weather being so extreme outside, we definitely want to pay attention to the thermostat. I was actually walking through a home yesterday and they had the AC completely off. It is like in the 90s here because we're in the summertime, and we were in that home for maybe 3 minutes and we wanted to get out because it was so hot. And of course we're wearing masks right now, so it was super hot and we were uncomfortable and everything else. So we would go outside and talk a little bit and then come back in. And so just kind of an example of why having the thermostat set to a comfortable temperature really helps buyers when they're walking through the home. So again, we just want to create a really comfortable atmosphere. So when they walk in the home, if it's hot outside, they walk into a nice cool home, they want to they want to be able to stay in that home. They want to feel comfortable. So setting the thermostat to a perfect temperature is kind of the key here. So the perfect degrees that I tell my sellers is 72 degrees. So 72 is a very comfortable, it's not too hot, not too cold or anything like that. So 72 is a very comfortable degree that I would set your thermostat to, even if that's not the temperature that you prefer your home in. I have some friends that 68 is kind of a norm. But again, right before you leave and vacate the house before the showing, go ahead and just bring it to 72. And as soon as you come back, you can change it to whatever temperature you want. But we just want to make sure if it's too hot, they're not wanting to leave the house because they're suffocating with how warm it is inside the home. And if it's too cold, like 68 may be too cold for people, you don't want them to, again, just feel uncomfortable with how cold it is inside and want to leave the home. So Obviously, we want to also appeal to weather. So like I said, like I'm in Texas, it's hot. So if you have to take it to an extreme, like for us, if we get above 100, I mean, we may not do 72. I may say, let's bring it down just a little bit just to keep it a little bit more cool. So obviously pay attention to what the weather's doing. So if it is freezing cold outside, go ahead and crank up the heat. If it's really hot outside, go ahead, or if it's humid or anything like that, it's just one of those days, go ahead and just turn the AC down some. So of course, pay attention to that. Doesn't always have to be 72, but just trying to get that comfortable temperature inside of your home. So we really just want them to, as they're walking through the home, kind of get some instant relief, especially when it is super hot or super cold outside. As soon as they walk in your home, if they feel relieved that they are out of that temperature and they are comfortable, it just allows them to, again, stay in the home longer, and that's what we want. So again, the goal is just to make them feel comfortable. So they come inside, they feel good, they've already have all the lights on, so they see how fresh and everything looks inside the home. Just want to make sure they feel comfortable as well. So that is step number 2. Step number 3 is setting a scene. So this one is huge. This one's, I think, the most important one. Well, maybe not the most important. I think they're all equally as important, but I think this one maybe gets overlooked the most, or I don't see it happening as much in the homes. So when a buyer comes and they schedule to view your home, what they are doing is they're considering living their lives inside of that home, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that they can envision what that lifestyle is going to be like in that home. So just keep in mind, you're not just selling a home, you're also selling that lifestyle, right? So one of the things that I always tell my sellers is prep your home so as if like they can experience and highlight or see highlights of what it would be like if they were to purchase the home and envision their lifestyle there as well. So what I mean by that, just as a few examples, number 1 would be like setting some soft music in the background. So I see people do this, you know, with their Alexas or their, oops, I hope mine doesn't go off, or their TVs, but just setting some sort of soft music, picking a very neutral. I love the Coffee House on Spotify. It's a Coffee House playlist or whatever on Spotify. That one's a good one. There's no words or anything like that. It's just some really soft ambiance music. So doing that just to kind of, again, give them that warm, fuzzy feeling when they walk into the home. You can turn on a diffuser. So I didn't put in here to light a candle, if you noticed. I think a lot of sellers want to light candles, which I see it all the time, and I'm walking through homes. Honestly, it makes me nervous as a buyer's agent because I don't know if that seller is going to come back immediately after the showing, if they're sticking around. But to me, just leaving an open flame in a home and leaving doesn't seem very safe. So I always tell my sellers, don't do candles, but if you have a diffuser or a plug-in or something like that, something just to help with the senses, with the smells and everything else, then definitely do that. When you're picking a smell though, don't just pick what you love. And I know you have to live in the house, so you do have to like it because you are still living there, but pick something very neutral. So something very light and something very, not super fruity. And there's also like a super perfumey scent, but something right in the middle. So I think warm cookie smell is like a very common, or like sugar cookie is very common. If you don't like that smell, you could do something like a fruity, flowery, but again, just make sure it's not super extreme one way or the other. There's a good happy medium with that diffuser, right? Okay, so then turning on the fireplace if you have one. So especially if you've got a gas or electric fireplace where you have a screen over it and there's no actual open flame to the outside, turning that on before you leave. And really, I would only do that if you plan to come back to the house. So I know I said no, no candle, and here I am like, bring up or turn on the largest flame in your house. But to me, a fireplace is a little more secure. It can't be bumped over if there's kids or anything like that. So I think there's less likely of a chance for anything to catch on fire. So I would only do this if you plan to come back to the house immediately after the showing is over, or if you're sticking around outside going on a walk or something like that, just so you can maintain the home. So what I mean by that is don't obviously turn on your fireplace that morning, go to work all day, and then come back at 5 p.m. So obviously be cautious of that. But setting that fireplace also just helps them, especially now if it's hot outside, do not set your fireplace. But if it's cold outside and it's a freezing day, again, we're in Texas, so we don't get those a whole lot. But just setting that fireplace helps them, again, picture a lifestyle and what it would be like if they lived in that home. All right, another example would be if you have a theater room or a TV room. I'm not talking about the living room, but like a specific room for entertainment on a TV. Turn on a football game if it's football season, which I know right now is kind of hard to do. Maybe baseball. I heard Rangers are starting back up. So Rangers game, turn that on. You could also put on a fun movie. So when I say a fun movie, I like to go either towards a cartoon because they might have kids. Don't want to put anything obviously rated R or anything like that, and anything too scary. So just putting on maybe a fun, appropriate, family appropriate movie. So when they do walk in, you just have something going on. Try to steer away from the news. I think that one hopefully is understood why, but just something, a fun movie. And then even, I love this idea. I've had a seller who, they had a little popcorn machine in the corner of their movie theater room. So I was like, hey, if you guys can, before showing, we did this for the open house, pop some popcorn and have it ready there for them if they want to maybe take a scoop, you know, have some bags ready to go to where they can have some popcorn while they're walking through the home. So that's up to you if you could decide you want to do that. Obviously, if they got kids and you have popcorn, you might have to clean up some popcorn, but just kind of gives you an idea of one of the things that you can do to help create that lifestyle. Another thing is if you have a pool, I always tell my sellers, blow up a floaty and throw a floaty in there, kind of just showing, what it would look like as if they live there. If you have any water features like waterfalls or anything like that, turn those on so we have some live running water. Again, just showing them what it could look like if they live there. Another thing that I've had a seller do, and again, we did this at an open house, is they had a little outdoor bar cart. So I had them put that out there, and we made some little drinks for the people that were walking through. So you could even maybe have, some cups out with a little ice jar, and then tell them, hey, at your own discretion, make yourself a little drink and have fun while you're walking through the home. So just another tip, again, to kind of create that lifestyle and just show them what it would be like if they were to purchase this home, how they can enjoy that outdoor area. So the last tip I have on this with creating a scenery is if it is nice weather outside, make sure that you're also staging your front deck if you've got a front patio, or the back deck. So like putting in outdoor furniture, a space where they can sit and either enjoy the scenery from the front door, or where they can sit and talk a little more about the home. Again, especially if it's nice weather, it just helps them picture what it could be like if they were to purchase that home, a great place that they would be able to sit in that home. So those are my 3-step process for making your home shine extra when showing. Like I said, you notice I didn't throw in there anything like the dishes need to be done, the beds need to be made. Those definitely need to happen. So I definitely want to make sure those are happening, but these are just the 3 things that I think that almost every seller should try to follow as much as possible, especially if they can do these things, leave the home for the hour while they have the showing and come back. That really could just be the little bit extra that your home has that other homes don't as they are touring homes. So, but guys, if you do want to get my full checklist, because like I said, there are other things like doing the dishes, things like that, let me know, because I do have a full showings that sell checklist, which includes everything that you need to do. And I have a couple other bonus ideas of what you could do. So when you are getting your home ready right before showing, those things, those checklist items that you can do or need to do and should do are on there. So if you want that full list, prep checklist, please let me know. You can send me a direct message, or you can comment below and I will just email that right over to you, or I'll just send you the PDF through Messenger, so you do have that. Anyways, so thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's Bless This Nest. That wraps up our Home Seller Bootcamp series. Again, if you did miss any of the previous videos, you can always go back and watch those. It was 1 through 4, so I did label all of them. And if you guys haven't gotten a chance to download or get my free Home Seller Bootcamp guide, which walks over basically everything I talked about in these last 4 videos, just let me know and I will send you over the link to that so you can download that today and see what that looks like. And also, if you guys have any other questions or have any other needs or need anything else from me when it comes to selling your home, feel free to direct message me or send me a text or message me below if you have any specific questions. Of course, if you're in the DFW area, I would love to even come out and talk to you face to face. We can finally do that now. I wear a mask still, but we can come to your home and I'm happy to walk through your home and give you some pointers on what I would do to help prep you when it comes time to selling or listing your home. So I do those as well. But guys, if you need anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out. Next week, I don't know quite what the topic is off the top of my head, but again, I do plan to keep going live every Thursday at 11 a.m. on a new topic. But if you guys have any topic ideas or you want me to talk about anything specific, again, send me those because I'm always looking for ideas on what you guys want to know and what you guys want to hear about, because really these videos are not for me. These videos are for you guys, and hopefully you guys are getting so much information from them. That is my goal and why I wanted to do this Bless This Nest. And so let me know what you guys want to hear about. I hope you guys have an awesome Thursday. Enjoy this warm weather, non-rainy weather. Enjoy the weekend. I know we're going to. So hope you guys have an awesome week and I will see you next Thursday.